All right, today we're gonna replace an Mcor on a Tempo or Precedent golf car. I'm gonna show you the tools you need. I'm gonna show you the steps to take to replace it. And then I'm gonna show you the steps required to get the Mcor back to us so we can file warranties. So, for starters, tools you need to replace an Mcor. You need an impact. You need Torx bits. You need a total of 3. You need a T40. You need a T30. And you need a T20, okay? All right, first things first, you wanna use your T40 and you wanna remove the floor mat so you can access the pedal group. There are 4 screws, 2 on each side. Again, I'm using the T40 for this, okay? What I like to do is I like to take those 4 screws and I like to set them where you would typically put golf balls in the dash. Okay, so now that I've got the floor mat screws removed, I then can remove the floor mat, which will expose the pedal group. So it's easier to do this when the park brake is not engaged, by the way. So anyway, once you've done that, you just pull your floor mat out and you set it to the side, okay? Come back to your impact and you want to still use your T40 and you are gonna remove the 2 of 4 bolts that will release the pedal group, okay? Okay, once those are loose, I set those in the same spot, just in a little different location as the bolts that held the floor mat down. This is just held down with a pop rivet, this little cover here, okay? All right, now is when I go to my T30. It does require a different size here, but I am gonna grab the T30 now, okay? And these are self-tapping screws on this side. It's also why it's a different size hex bolt. I'm gonna remove these. They're a little harder to remove. And first of all, you don't actually have to remove those all the way. You just need to remove them enough so that you can raise the pedal group to access the Mcor. Okay, so at this point, you now can get to your Mcor. So I am gonna raise this, tilt it up, and voila, my Mcor is now exposed. This is an Mcor. Okay, there are 2 plugs here. Okay, and finally, to remove the Mcor, you need to use the T20 Torx bit, and there is a very small screw that is holding that in place. Here's your Mcor. So, what do you do with the old Mcor? Well, the first thing you do is you look at your new Mcor and you look at the code date on it. This is a 2127. So you'll take a Sharpie and you will write 2127 on this Mcor. It's gonna be sent back to us and Club Car will wanna know the date code of the new Mcor you put on it, okay? All right, so now it's time to put on your new Mcor. So, put it on, and then you want to put your small screw that you used with the T20 Torx bit back on, just like that. You have got 2 plugs that you need to put back in place. Just like that. And now you are ready to put everything back in place. So first things first, let's go ahead and take that T30 and put those self-tapping screws back in place. And now you're back to your T40, and we are going to take these slightly longer screws. Go ahead and button down the pedal group. Okay. Then you're going to put that cover back on, and again, it's just held in place with a push rivet. So put it back in place. Push rivet. Now all you got to do is put the floor mat back on. So grab your floor mat. First thing I always do is I get it over the pedal group. Again, it's easier for me, personal preference, but it's way easier for me when the park brake is released. Okay? All right, then you want to make sure that you are feeding it underneath this kick plate. Okay. Okay. And then you want to lift the cup holders. It's flexible. Lift it, tuck it where it goes. Do that on both sides. Okay. And then finally, pull the side retainers out just a little bit. You're going to put that back in place, do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then grab 2 screws. You're still using that T40 Torx bit, and go ahead and button it up. And we are going to repeat that process on the other side. This, that, and then you're going to finish the job. And you are done. So, last step of the process, grab the bad Mcor that you've written the code date on of the new Mcor you put on, and go ahead and send that back to Justice. And that's all there is to it. Thanks, guys.